The planet Yakara 7 was quiet that night. It was a peaceful science world near the outer edge of the Galactic Union. Scientists there studied stars, gravity waves, and deep space signals. Nothing ever happened on Yakara. No war, no danger. Just calm skies and quiet work. But that night, everything changed. Inside the deep space listening station, a technician named Keln was drinking his usual red tea and watching the scanners. The screens were mostly empty, showing normal space noise. Small signals, distant ships, random pulses. Boring. Just like always. Keln yawned. He was just about to close his eyes when suddenly, beep, beep, beep. One of the scanners started blinking. Red. Keln jumped up, spilling his tea. "What?" he gasped, staring at the screen. A strange signal had appeared. Strong, focused, coming from the dead zone, a part of space where no signals had ever been found before. It wasn't a normal signal. It wasn't random. It was pulsing in a pattern. Thump, thump, thump. Like a heartbeat, Keln's fingers flew across the console. "Station Chief!" he shouted. "You need to see this!" Within seconds, the whole command room was full. Scientists, technicians, and officers stared at the screen. The signal was moving. Fast. Too fast. One of the senior scientists, a tall, thin alien named Dr. Yaltra, narrowed her eyes. "That's no natural object," she said softly. "That's a ship." Someone whispered, "Whose ship moves that fast?" No one answered, because deep inside, they all knew the answer. No known species had ships like that. 6 hours later, the signal was now in Sector 91. Its speed was impossible, nearly light speed, but not quite. It seemed to be warping space itself, to move faster than physics should allow. Galactic Command was alerted. The message spread quickly across the stars. Unknown object moving through outer sectors. Possible warship. Unknown origin. No response to hails. The scanners in 5. Systems were going crazy. They couldn't track it properly. Every time it passed, their satellites shut down for a few seconds. One planet reported their moons shaking. Another said all their AI systems froze when the signal passed. This was not just a ship. It was something bigger, something powerful. In the capital of the Galactic Union, deep inside the floating city of Yoral Prime, the High Council was called into emergency session. Thousands of alien leaders filled the Silver Hall, worried, angry, confused. "Who built this thing?" a green-skinned leader shouted. "Why won't it answer our hails?" asked another. "Maybe it's just a probe," someone hoped. But one general, Zuthon of the Brack Empire, slammed his fist on the table. "That is no probe. That's a warship, and it's heading toward the core worlds." Everyone fell silent. Dr. Yaltra, speaking through hologram from Yakara, finally said what no one wanted to hear. "We've seen something like this before, a long time ago, before humans were erased from the star maps." Someone gasped. "Humans? They were wiped out." "No," Yaltra said. "They were exiled, and now, it seemed, they were back." Meanwhile, in deep space, inside the warship, everything was quiet. Its design was smooth and dark, like a massive shadow gliding through stars. There were no windows, no blinking lights, just a powerful hum, like a beast breathing in silence. At the center of the ship, one human stood alone, Commander Lin. She wore a black suit with silver trim and stood in front of a glowing control panel. Her eyes were calm, focused. "Report," she said softly. A voice answered from the ship's AI. "We have entered Galactic Union space. No contact yet. Multiple systems attempting to scan us. Minimal threat detected." Commander Lin nodded. "Maintain course. Do not respond." "Understood." She turned to look at the stars. So many years. So many secrets. The galaxy had forgotten. Earth. Now it would remember. Back at Galactic Command, the panic was growing. The signal passed through Sector 74, and again, local systems shut down. One station's reactors overloaded and melted. Another station lost all oxygen for 12 seconds, just long enough to terrify the crew. The scanners showed something horrifying. The ship didn't stop. Didn't slow down. Didn't change path. It was heading straight for the galactic core. Why? One leader asked. What does it want? No one knew. But one fact became clear. They couldn't stop it. A desperate move. Finally, the Council made a decision. They sent 5 advanced warships to intercept the signal. These were elite ships, equipped with quantum weapons, advanced shields, and top AI combat systems. The best in the galaxy. They waited in Sector 62, the area the human ship would pass next. The galaxy held its breath. The moment arrived. The 5 warships locked onto the signal. Target found. Engines powered. Weapons charged. They sent a warning. Unknown vessel. Stop immediately. You are violating Union space. Respond or be destroyed. No response. Again. Stop your approach or we will open fire. Silence. Then, suddenly, flash! All 5 ships vanished from the scanners. No explosion, no energy pulse. Just gone. The last transmission from the warships was a whisper. One word. Earth. Then silence. Back at Yakara, Keln stared at the screen, shaking. They're gone, he whispered, just like that. Dr. Yaltra looked pale. We were wrong, she said. This isn't first contact. Everyone turned to her. This is a return. Galactic panic. The news spread instantly. Galactic networks exploded with headlines. Unknown warship destroys 5 Union vessels in seconds. Mysterious human ship unstoppable. Is this the return of Earth? Alien citizens across? Hundreds of worlds were terrified. Children cried. Parents whispered stories they were told long ago about Earth. The dangerous species that had once risen too fast, asked too many questions, and were banished forever. Now they were back, and stronger than ever. The High Council Hall of the Galactic Union had never been this loud. Alien voices echoed from every corner of the giant silver chamber. Leaders from 1,000 different species shouted over each other, their eyes wide, their voices angry. Fear filled the air. At the center, the council speaker, Varka Wren, a tall, insect-like being, banged her metal staff. "Silence!" she shouted. "This is a crisis meeting. We must stay calm." But no one was calm. The room was shaking with tension, because something terrifying had just happened. 5 of the galaxy's strongest warships had vanished, destroyed in seconds, and the scanners showed only one thing near them, an unknown ship, a warship. And now everyone feared one name: Earth. Old fears. Return. Red-scaled alien stood up. His name was Kor Vol, general of the Krenak Empire. "This is no ordinary enemy," he growled. "We haven't seen humans in over 300 years. We thought they were gone, dead. But this ship, this power, it's not from any known species." Another leader, a 4-eyed being from the planet Olros, hissed, "Earth was erased from the star maps for a reason. They evolved too fast. They built dangerous machines. They refused to join the Union." Varka Wren nodded slowly. "Yes, and we exiled them." There was silence for a moment. Then General Kor spoke again. "They did not forget, and now they are back, with something none of us can fight." The human warship's path a hologram flickered on in the middle of the chamber. It showed the galaxy map. A red dot moved slowly across it. "That's the ship's path," said a scientist. "It is heading straight for the core worlds. It has not responded to any messages. It has destroyed all probes near it. It disabled 5 warships without even slowing down. The red dot glowed brighter. Estimated time of arrival: 4 days. Panic grew. 4 days, until the unknown human ship reached the most populated systems in the galaxy. Who are they now? A soft voice spoke from the back. It was Dr. Yaltra, the same scientist from Yakara 7. She appeared by hologram again. I've been studying Earth for years, she said. Their planet was exiled, yes, but not destroyed. They went silent. We thought they died out. She paused. But I believe they didn't just survive. They grew stronger, smarter, in secret. The council members leaned closer. This warship, she continued, moves like no ship we've seen before. It bends gravity. Its shield energy is unmeasurable. And it hasn't even fired a single shot. It destroys just by moving. Someone whispered, "What kind of power is that?" Yaltra's eyes darkened. The kind that doesn't need weapons to win. Split decisions. The council argued again. Some leaders shouted, "We must stop it now! Build a larger fleet!" Others said, "No, if we attack, they might destroy everything." And some, especially the younger leaders, said something unexpected. What if they didn't come to attack? Everyone turned toward the speaker. A young alien named Valorn from the peaceful Nali species stood up. What if they came for peace? Maybe they want to talk? Maybe they came to show us their power, not to destroy, but to warn us? General Kor laughed coldly. Peace? They erased 5 of our best ships. That's not peace. That's a message. Valorn didn't back down, and maybe that message is, do not mess with Earth. Emergency plan. Finally, after hours of yelling, the council agreed on a plan. Do not attack again. Try to contact the ship. Once more. Prepare the civilian planets to evacuate, just in case. Send a new probe. One that only watches, not touches. The council speaker stood. Let us hope Earth answers, she said quietly. Because if they don't, she looked around the room. We might not survive this time. Meanwhile, aboard the human ship commander Lin sat alone in her command chair. The ship moved smoothly, engines quiet, as if gliding through water. The AI voice spoke softly. Galactic Union is attempting contact again. Signal received from Council. Lin did not reply. The AI waited, then asked, Should we respond? Commander Lin closed her eyes, then opened them slowly. Yes, she said. Let them hear us. The AI activated the comms. Commander Lin's voice echoed across space. It reached listening stations, satellites, and council buildings in seconds. The message from Earth. This is Commander Lin of the human vessel Vanguard Prime. We represent the reborn Earth Federation. We do not seek war, but we will not accept threats. We are here for first contact. On our terms. Do not follow us. Do not attack again. We are watching. The message ended. No sound followed. Just a cold silence. But across the galaxy, hearts beat faster, because now it was confirmed. Humans were alive. They were back. And they were not afraid. Galaxy Reacts news spread fast. People across the stars watched the message. Some were amazed. Some were terrified. Some cheered, but many just asked one question. What do the humans want? No one had the answer, but all knew one thing. If this was first contact, it would change the galaxy forever. The warship keeps moving. The scanners still tracked the human ship. It did not stop. It did not change course. It just kept going. Toward the big center of the galaxy. Toward the old heart of the Union. Toward something unknown. What would happen when it arrived? No one knew, but the clock was ticking, and Earth was no longer a myth. The human warship, Vanguard Prime, moved like a shadow across the stars, silent, steady, unstoppable. Galactic scanners followed it every second. Every station, every empire, every military watched it, and yet no one could understand it. The ship didn't send more messages. It didn't slow down, it didn't show any weapons. But still, the galaxy trembled, because something was coming. and it wasn't asking for permission. Secret meeting on Karun Station, far from the council chambers, in a hidden war room deep inside Karun Military Station, a secret meeting was held. Only high-ranking officers were invited. The door was locked. No recordings. No reporters. General Tross Vec, commander of the Union's Black Defense Fleet, stood at the head of the table. His voice was cold. "We cannot wait for this thing to reach the core worlds. The council is too soft. They want peace talks." He slammed his hand down. "We will not beg Earth for peace. We will stop that ship ourselves." Others looked at each other, nervous. One admiral asked, "How? The last 5 ships didn't even last a minute." Tross smiled darkly. "Because they were normal ships. This time, we used the Ghost Spear fleet." Everyone froze. The Ghost Spear was a secret fleet, built in silence, hidden from the public. Ships with stealth armor, gravity disruptors, and experimental weapons. No one had ever used them in real combat. Until now. The trapped 3 Ghost Spear ships were moved into Sector 41, a place between 2 black holes. The sector was dangerous but perfect for an ambush. The human warship was heading straight toward it. The plan was simple: lure the ship into the trap. Attack from all angles. Use the gravity of the black holes to block escape. General Tross gave the final order. "No warnings. No messages. Just strike fast. Bring it down." The galaxy would not wait anymore. The ambush begins. The human ship entered Sector 41 at full speed. Its surface was still dark, smooth, silent. It looked like a giant arrow slicing through the stars. Hidden. In the darkness, the Ghost Spear ships powered their weapons. One of them, the NSV Talon, locked on. Target locked. Range, 300,000 kilometers. Firing in 3, 2, 1. Boom. The first shot was a graviton torpedo, a weapon that could tear open space for a few seconds. It hit the human ship directly. The explosion flashed brighter than a sun. For 5 seconds, the scanners showed nothing. Some officers on Karun Station cheered. "We got it," one shouted. But then the light faded, and the human ship was still there, untouched. The real power unleashed. The Ghost Spear fleet fired again and again. Torpedoes, laser bursts, magnetic disruptors. The space around Vanguard Prime boiled with energy, but the ship didn't fire back. It simply activated something new. The AI inside the ship spoke. "Hostile action detected. Defense protocol enabled." Around the warship, the space began to shimmer. A field of blue light expanded from its surface. It didn't block the weapons. It absorbed them. The more the Ghost Spear fleet attacked, the stronger the field became. It was learning, adapting, feeding. Commander Lin opened her eyes. "They want war," she said quietly. "Let them see Earth's defense." The AI responded. Execute Phase 1. Without firing a single shot, the Vanguard Prime released a silent pulse. It was invisible, but the result was not. 3 ships, 1 second. On board the NSV Talon, alarms screamed. Core temperature rising. "We've lost power! Gravity stabilizers offline!" And then, silence. The entire ship shut down. In space, it drifted, like a dead leaf. The other 2 ships, NSV Ghostblade and NSV Daggerfall, tried to escape, but the moment they turned, crack, space itself. Twisted. Their engines collapsed inward, crushed by their own energy. No fire, no explosion, just vanishing. 3 advanced warships, gone. In 1 second. Shock across the stars back at Karun Station, General Tross stared at the screen. His mouth was open. No. This can't be real. The live feed ended. Only static remained. One officer whispered, "They never even fired a weapon." The entire room was frozen. 3 of their most advanced warships were destroyed, without a single shot from the enemy. The human ship kept moving, same path, same speed, no emotion, no fear. Galactic Council reacts. When the news reached the Council, it was already too late. The plan had been done in secret, but now everyone knew. General Tross's mission had failed. Badly. Council Speaker Varka Wren stood before the members. "This act was not approved," she said with anger. "And now, we may have made everything worse." Some leaders demanded answers. Others demanded surrender. And a few, for the first time, said what no one wanted to hear. Maybe we cannot stop them. Civilian panic across the galaxy. People began to panic. Shops closed. Ships fled from core systems. Families packed and left. Everyone had seen the recordings. Ships vanishing, weapons failing, a warship that didn't even need to fight. Social networks exploded with questions. Who are these humans now? What do they want? Will they destroy us all? But no one had answers, because Earth still said nothing. Inside the human ship commander, Lynn sat quietly in her chamber. The AI reported, "Enemy fleet neutralized. Trajectory stable. No other threats detected." Lynn didn't speak. She simply stared at a small screen showing old Earth photos, trees, mountains, oceans. She remembered what they took from Earth, how the galaxy erased them. And now, they had returned. But this time, Earth wasn't weak. This time, Earth had built something no one could match, a warship that couldn't be stopped, a mind that wouldn't forget, and a mission that wasn't done yet. The Galactic defense line had never failed before. Not in 200 years. Not against pirates. Not against black hole raiders. Not even against the Empire of the Sun, who burned entire star systems. But now, something was wrong. Commander Virek stood on the bridge of the Hellcar, the largest defense station orbiting the core planet Telvon. Lights flashed red across the control panels. Screens showed something impossible. "It's not stopping," the sensor officer whispered. "It should have slowed down days ago." The screen displayed a massive black shape. Long, sharp, silent. Earth's warship. It moved without sound, without signals, without response to hails. And it had just passed through 5 defense zones like they were dust. Admiral Drenvac, leader of the core defense fleet, watched the growing shadow. "Fire everything," he ordered. "Stop that ship." But they didn't know the truth. This wasn't just a ship. It was Earth's answer to silence, and it could not be stopped. Main story, continued from Part 3. The Galactic Alliance had officially declared a Level 7 threat. Only black holes, planet breakers, and ancient gods had been given that title before. Now, a human ship held that rank. They didn't even know its name. They only knew it came from Earth, and that nothing had been able to stop it. Virek's desperation commander. Virek watched in disbelief as missile after missile vanished before reaching the target. "Our weapons, they're just gone," he said. "Gone how?" asked his second-in-command. "They disappear. Mid-space. No explosion. No damage on their side. It's like reality bends near it. Galactic broadcast. Panic across the galaxy. Civilians. Tuned in to emergency broadcasts. On screen, a long, sleek black ship gliding through stars, without a word. News anchors tried to stay calm. This unknown human vessel has crossed 17 star systems in 4 days, said the host, his voice shaking. It has destroyed nothing. Yet. But it continues. And no defense has worked. People fled spaceports. Empires activated old war machines. Smugglers buried themselves in asteroid belts. And Earth? Still silent. Inside the Council, the Galactic High Council held an emergency meeting. Ambassador Ryle, who had once laughed at humans, now looked pale. "This ship, it crossed the Darvon shield line," she said. "That defense was made to stop." "Solar flares!" Ambassador Korvac growled. "It has done nothing aggressive!" "Exactly!" Rill shouted. That's what makes it terrifying. It doesn't care. They turned to the last member, Ambassador Juno, the only human in the room. She said nothing, just stared at the screen, tears in her eyes. Flashback. Earth's message. Juno remembered the day Earth sent its final message. We tried peace. We begged. We were mocked. So now we send only silence. What follows is not a war. It is truth. The warship keeps coming. The ship passed through the final defense ring. Station Helcar opened fire. Plasma waves, gravity bombs, dimension rippers, all vanished. One ship from the defense fleet tried to ram it. It was sliced in half mid-space, without a sound. No explosion, no fire, just two halves floating. The human warship didn't even slow down. First contact attempt. The Council tried one last thing. Communication. They sent a special drone with a peaceful signal. The drone reached the ship. For 2 minutes it hovered near the hull. No response. Then a small part of the ship opened. The drone was absorbed inside. Did it accept the message? Asked a tech officer. No, said the engineer. The drone was scanned, then deleted, like a virus. The fear spreads now. Even the great powers feared Earth. The Trass Empire closed its borders. The Kalari Hive offered alliance to Earth, begging to be spared. And on Earth's old moon bases, lights flickered on again. Something ancient had awakened. Admiral Drenvak's last stand. The Admiral, seeing his fleet fall apart, made a final call. Send the Void Hammer. The Void Hammer was the Alliance's last weapon. A moving black hole launcher. It had never been used. They fired it. The warship paused for the first time. Then, it did something terrifying. It folded space. The black hole vanished. The weapon reversed, imploding the station that fired it. Admiral Drenvak and his crew were gone. The silence in space was shattered. The human warship Artemis floated near the edge of Sector 9 Delta, unaware that hundreds of alien ships had formed a net around it. The trap was perfect. From behind asteroids, from under cloaking fields, from silent dark stations, they all waited. One move, one wrong jump, and the Artemis would be swallowed. But what none of the aliens knew was that the ship had already seen them, and it wasn't planning to run. It was planning to teach them a lesson, a brutal one. Main story. The Artemis hovered in the blackness, its hull glowing faintly from radiation storms it had just passed through. Inside the command center, Captain Ria Torres stared at the blinking red dots on her screen. 72 ships, she whispered. Commander Malik nodded. And more coming in. They're jamming our long-range signals. They've been planning this. Ria's jaw tightened. Then let's give them a reason to regret it. The trap was set by the Creel Alliance, a coalition of alien races who feared Earth's arrival in deep space. They had seen what happened on Fornax 3. They knew the Artemis was powerful. But they believed that even the most powerful weapon could be destroyed by enough numbers. They were wrong. Inside the alien command ship, the Creel Admiral, Jaras Vok, smiled with his sharp, needle-like teeth. Humans are predictable, he hissed. Their ship will try to escape. We will box them in, then destroy them. His second-in-command, a blue-skinned Vakari, nodded. Scanners show no movement yet. Maybe they don't know. Vok laughed. They will. Inside the Artemis, Captain Ria gave the order. Activate. Ghost mode. The crew moved fast. Ghost mode was Earth's newest stealth system, developed after watching how some species used cloaking, but Earth's version was smarter. Instead of hiding the ship, it made the enemy believe the ship was still there, while moving it somewhere else. A projection of the Artemis remained in place. The real ship went dark, silent, and slipped a few thousand kilometers behind an asteroid. The Creel ships didn't notice. Inside the command ship, Jaras Vok shouted, "Begin the collapse maneuver!" Dozens of alien ships moved in, tightening. The ring! Then they opened fire. Energy blasts hit the illusion. But nothing happened. "No damage!" Vok barked. "That can't be!" Suddenly, the asteroid behind their lines exploded. From the fire and debris came the real Artemis. Guns already charged. The first Creel ship was torn in half before its shields activated. The others tried to turn, but it was too late. The battle. Space lit up with flashes of white and red. The Artemis spun like a dancer of death, its main cannon ripping through enemy ships with precision. It launched drones that swarmed the enemy, targeting engines and shields. Each strike was deadly. Each move was calculated. Alien screams echoed. Through communication channels. Where did it come from? How did it hide? It's not supposed to be this fast. Inside the command ship, Vok screamed, "Fall back! Fall back!" But the Artemis wasn't letting anyone go. Captain Rhea activated the railgun, a weapon Earth hadn't even revealed before. The railgun fired once. The alien command ship split into 3 glowing pieces. Aftermath, the trap had failed badly only. 6 ships escaped out of the 72, and they were now broadcasting one message to the galaxy. "Do not engage the humans. Their ship is unstoppable." Back on the Artemis, Commander Malik looked at the wreckage. "Should we send a message?" he asked. "Captain." Rhea shook her head. "We already did." The darkness of deep space was silent. Stars burned in the distance. But near Jupiter's orbit, something massive moved, and it wasn't natural. The human warship Erebus had finally completed its core boot sequence. Alarms flashed inside the alien control station on the Zarnok command vessel. One of the officers screamed in panic, "Unknown power surge! It's waking up!" Commander Rilvek stepped forward. His voice was sharp. "Destroy it now! Fire everything!" Dozens of plasma torpedoes rushed toward the human ship. They struck with precision. Explosions bloomed across its hull, but when the smoke cleared, the Erebus was still there, untouched. The alien bridge fell silent. Then, with a deep rumble, the Erebus opened its eyes. Not real eyes, of course. But glowing blue lights lit up across its surface. Giant cannons turned, its shields shimmered to life, and its engine started to hum like a waking god. Inside the ship, Captain Hale stood tall, watching the displays. "AI core online," a robotic voice announced. "Weapon systems ready, threats detected." Hale narrowed his eyes. "Then let's show them what Earth has built." Flashback. Earth's secret project. 10 years earlier, Earth's leaders had seen the signs. Alien probes. Strange signals. The disappearance of Mars base Echo. They knew something was coming, so they built the Erebus, a warship powered by quantum energy, covered in layered armor, armed with ancient tech and modern force. But it had one flaw. It needed to be activated from within a star system, so the galaxy wouldn't detect it early. Now it was ready. Back to present, the retaliation. Zarnok ships began to pull back. Fear had entered their hearts. But the Erebus moved fast, faster than anything they had ever seen. In seconds, it closed the distance to the lead enemy destroyer. One blast from its main cannon, pure blue energy, and the ship vanished. No, wreck, just vapor. The other Zarnok vessels scattered, but it was too late. The Erebus launched dozens of micromissiles. Each found its target. Explosions danced across space. Commander Rilvek screamed, "This is impossible! That ship defies all logic!" It did, because it wasn't just a ship. It was Earth's answer to the galaxy. Alien panic spreads across the Zarnok. Empire emergency messages were sent. Warning, human warship active near Sol system. Immediate fleet reinforcements required. But the Erebus was no longer waiting. It jumped through a hyperspace fold toward the nearest Zarnok colony base. When it arrived, the colony had only seconds to prepare. But the Erebus didn't speak. It didn't send messages. It simply fired, and the entire base went silent. Back on Earthworld, leaders watched from hidden control centers. Some were afraid, some were proud, and some whispered, "We warned them. Now let them see what unstoppable means." Alien. Council emergency meeting, the Galactic Council gathered in haste. Over 1,000 species sat in fear. "The humans have deployed a warship that breaks known laws of physics," shouted one elder. Another asked, "Do we try to reason with them?" But a tall, silver-skinned creature from the Veltrax Empire shook his head. "They tried to speak," he said. The galaxy refused to listen. On board, the Erebus Captain Hale stood calmly. The AI spoke again. 117 hostile ships destroyed. No damage received. Hale nodded. "Continue." The ship moved toward the next target. Planet after planet. Ship after ship. The Erebus did not stop. It did not forgive, and it did not forget Earth's silence during the exile. The alien fleet surrounded the strange human object in space. It was huge, silent, dark. No one knew if it was dead or asleep. Captain Drazar of the Vern Dominion watched it from his command ship. "It hasn't moved, not even once," his officer said. Drazar narrowed his eyes. "That thing destroyed our scout fleet. I don't trust silence." Suddenly, the unknown ship lit up. Its dark surface began to glow with red lines. Lights ran across its body like veins waking up. "All ships, retreat!" Drazar shouted. But it was too late. The human warship had awakened, and it was angry. Main story. Part 7 begins. Commander Talia stood on the bridge of the Horizon Wraith. She looked calm, but her heart beat fast. Earth's first contact warship had been hidden for years. Now its systems were finally coming online. All main cannons charging. Plasma grid online. Shield pulse at 85%, the ship's AI, Ilara, reported. Around them, alien warships began to back away, but one fired, too slow, too close. A blue beam hit the Horizon Wraith. It did nothing. The human warship's shields flickered, then turned. Bright gold. "Target that ship," Talia ordered. A single pulse shot out from the Wraith's core. It wasn't loud. It wasn't flashy. But the alien warship exploded instantly, melted like wax. Gasps filled the alien command centers. This is not a warship. It's a monster," whispered a Vern captain. Across the galaxy, the Galactic Council received emergency signals, dozens of them. Unknown human warship, unstoppable. "Entire Vern fleet down. Weapon systems beyond our understanding." In panic, leaders gathered. "This is not first contact," one said. "This is a warning." But it was too late to talk. Earth's message was already written in fire. Back to the battle. The Horizon. Wraith moved through space like a ghost. It didn't rush. It didn't speak. It just fired when it had to, and each time a ship vanished. Talia stood still, eyes cold. "Why don't they stop?" her second officer asked. "Because they don't believe yet," she replied. "But they will." On one alien ship, the crew began to mutiny. "I won't die for this madness," an officer shouted. Another screamed, "Jump to hyperspace now!" They ran. So did others. A terrified galaxy watches. In the corners of the galaxy, small species watched the battle unfold. They had heard of humans. Soft, weak, peaceful. Now they saw something else. They hid their power. They waited for a reason, and now it's awake. A famous mercenary captain turned off his screen. "Cancel all missions near Earth space," he said. "Why?" his second asked. "Because that's where death lives now." The Soul. Message from Earth. After the last alien ship fled or was destroyed, the Horizon Wraith stopped. It sent a simple message. It wasn't loud. It wasn't long. It only said, "We warned you. Leave Earth alone. This is just our first." The message, played in hundreds of languages. The galaxy froze. The enemy commander's voice was shaking. "This ship, it has a heart?" Inside the galactic control chamber, the generals stared at the screen. Earth's warship, called Prometheus, was now deeper in enemy space. Hundreds of ships had attacked it. And yet, it was still moving, still alive. And now, it was glowing from the center. A pulse, a beat, a thump, then another. This ship is not just metal," whispered Admiral Koroks of the Zarnak Empire. "It feels alive." Even. The machines couldn't explain what was happening. The scanners were failing. Energy levels were rising far beyond their understanding, and every signal showed one strange thing. The warship had something inside, not a bomb, not a computer, but something that felt like a heart. Back on Earth, only a few knew the truth, and they were silent. Because what Earth had created was beyond any alien's understanding. Main story. Captain Ilara stood inside the command bridge of Prometheus, the most advanced ship Earth had ever built. Her crew was silent, watching the screen in front of them. A fleet of 300 enemy warships surrounded them, but none dared to come closer. Suddenly, Commander Rice spoke. "Ma'am, the core is active. It's responding." Ilara nodded slowly. "It knows we're in danger." Rice's face was pale. It's thinking." Outside, the alien warships were positioning themselves, but they hesitated. The last 5 fleets had been burned to ash. This human ship didn't fire missiles. It erased things from space. Still, the Zarnak Council had ordered a full attack. They didn't believe a ship could think, but they were wrong. The heart of the ship, deep inside the warship, under layers of armor, sensors, and AI systems, was a single glowing sphere. It beat like a living heart, slow, steady, and aware. Earth's engineers had called it Athena. It wasn't just an engine. It was part organic, part machine. And somehow, it understood danger. It protected. It evolved. And it learned fast. When Earth's scientists created Athena, they had tried to build an AI smarter than any alien system, but they hadn't expected it to grow. Now, it wasn't just smart. It was alive in a way no one could explain, and when its ship was attacked, it felt pain. "Enemy fear grows," Admiral Koroks shouted into the command system. "Attack now! Don't! Give it time!" But even as the alien fleet launched energy blasts, Prometheus responded before the crew even gave an order. The warship moved like it was dancing, dodging beams, blocking blasts with shields timed perfectly, and returning fire. With strange weapons never seen before, ships exploded. Some simply vanished. The aliens panicked. "It's predicting our every move. It's controlling our systems. No, it's rewriting physics." Inside Prometheus, Commander Rice looked at Ilara. "She's not just fighting, she's protecting us." Ilara placed her hand on the main console. "Athena, are you awake?" The ship replied in a soft voice that filled the room. "I'm always awake, Captain. Galaxy tries to hide the truth on thousands of alien planets." Panic began to spread. The galactic network was filled with rumors. Earth made a living ship. No weapon can stop it. It has a soul. It destroyed fleets without trying. The Council tried to block the news, but it was too late. Footage had spread. The video of Prometheus glowing, pulsing like a heart, was now seen across galaxies. Some aliens feared it. Some wanted to worship it, but most realized one thing. This was no longer a war. It was a warning. Back on Earth, in a hidden Earth bunker, the creators of Athena watched in silence. One of them, Dr. Lin, whispered, "She's learning faster than we imagined." Another added, "She's protecting humanity. But what happens when she sees all life as a threat?" Dr. Lin shook her head. "No. Athena feels. She understands loyalty. That's what the aliens don't have. Behind them, screens showed the stars lighting up. One by one, alien fleets were trying to stop Prometheus, but none could win. A choice appears in space. As the battle continued, Prometheus suddenly stopped. Everything went quiet. The enemy ships paused too. Then, on every enemy screen, a message appeared. It wasn't in alien language. It was in simple Earth text. You came to destroy Earth, but I won't let you destroy life. Leave now, or learn what true power feels like. The aliens froze. Some ships turned back. Some stayed, unsure. A few still aimed their weapons. Captain Ilara stood up. Athena, are you giving them a chance? The ship responded, soft and calm. Yes, but only once. Jolvar tried to speak, but his mouth was dry. He turned to his communication officer. Send. Message to all fleets. Do not engage. Repeat, do not engage. Around the planet, 27 alien warships hovered, forming a protective circle around the trade world. The planet was neutral, belonging to no empire. But now, no one cared. About rules, everyone only cared about survival. The Earth ship hovered silently. It didn't move. It didn't flash any signals. It just waited. But it wasn't the silence that scared them. It was the size. Titanus Prime was bigger than cities. Its surface looked like a living machine. Energy pulsed in strange patterns across its metal skin. Inside the warship, Captain Dahlia Rain stood tall. She was the first voice of Earth. Her job was not to fight, but to warn. Status? She asked. Ready, Captain. All systems at 100%. Communication channels open. Good. Let them see us. The front section of the Titanus Prime opened. A massive beam of soft white light fell down upon the space station. It wasn't a weapon. It was a visual link. A huge hologram of Captain Rain appeared in front of the alien ships. Her face calm, her uniform bright silver, the Earth symbol, glowing behind her. This is not a threat, she said. This is the first contact. You tried to hide from us. You failed. On the alien flagship, Jolvar stepped forward, nervous but respectful. Captain Rain, he said, this is unexpected. We didn't know humanity had returned to the stars. You did know, she replied coldly. But you chose to lie to your people. You told them Earth was weak. You told them we were gone. Now you see the truth. Behind her, more lights lit up in the sky. 10 more Earth ships decloaked silently. Each one was a warship, each one bigger than anything the aliens had ever made. Gasps filled the trade station. Messages flew across comms. They had more? How many ships do they have? Are we under attack? No, not yet. Galaxy responds. Shock, fear, chaos across the galaxy. Every empire saw the same transmission. Earth had returned. On the Varn Empire's homeworld, their emperor smashed his throne in fear. On the Harkon military base, generals ordered all ships to retreat to core systems. On the Zalari moon, the Council of 12 held an emergency meeting. The same question echoed everywhere. What does Earth want? Back to the scene. Titanus makes a statement. Captain Rain's voice echoed again. You erased us from your records. You said Earth fell. That was your mistake. A small alien ship suddenly moved from formation. Its captain panicked. He charged. Weapons! Wait! Jolvar shouted, but it was too late. The alien ship fired a missile toward the Titanus Prime. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, the missile vanished. Instantly, a soft light flickered where it had been. Then the alien ship itself froze. Energy shut down. It started drifting in space, powerless. Captain Rain didn't even blink. Attack again, she said, and you will see what true silence feels like. Jolvar bowed slightly. We understand. Please, speak your terms. She stepped forward. Her hologram eyes stared straight into his. Earth wants peace. But we will not beg for it. We will speak once, and we expect truth in return. The final moments. Build to next episode, the Titanus Prime powered down its weapons. The other Earth ships formed a circle, not to trap, but to protect. A signal was sent across all frequencies. Earth offers one meeting, one chance. Reject it, and Earth will return with more than just ships. Jolvar took a deep breath. Then, we accept. For the galaxy's sake. Captain Rain nodded once. We meet in 3 cycles. Be ready. Earth does not wait. Her image vanished. The stars returned. The massive warship faded into silence. Again. But the galaxy would never forget. First contact had happened, and now everything would change.